Welcome back to the 2015 North American Summer Split. Now, before we take a look at our next game, Impulse versus CLG, we're going to face check the Twitter scene. Today, we're talking about Team Pride and wanted you to share how you show your LCS support. Our first comes from @Thorn719, who's got a jacket, Cloud9 jacket, and tattoo. You know, for when the jacket's in the wash. Well, that is commitment there, sir. Good on you for that one. Then one fan has put their artistic skills to good use with a drawing of Team Impulse. I like it. That's a lot of eyes, cool. Though. That's like a little... They're all staring at
I like you can actually tell the difference just by looking at their eyes, which person it is.
That's very tell by the fact that they're in also roll order.
Yeah.
Also that. Finally, @Cadu out sending this pic of his cosplay, Cloud9 Lucian. I mean, this is sweet. He also recently did Echo as well. So if you haven't seen that, check that out because it is sick.
How do we leak the splash art for the championship, like C9 wins Worlds and Lucian skin comes out? This is like time traveling already.
That's it. All right, I like it. So we're predicting the results of Worlds right
I'm glad Jad's here to put an extra space between us now.
That's not what I meant.
I think Freak just predicted Cloud9 to win Worlds.
That's exactly what happened. He put your bid in just now. All right. Thank you to everyone who sent in pictures. Or if you haven't yet, it's not too late. So tweet @LolEsports and use the hashtag LCS. But let's shift gear with our next match, Team Impulse versus Counter Logic Gaming. These are two teams that bring very different personalities to their games. So get ready for a battle of chaos versus order, gentlemen.
Yeah, and I mean, yesterday, CLG, they played an incredibly clean game against Dignitas, who just also played a great game against Cloud9. So that kind of speaks well to CLG's power level right now. They didn't give up a single turret. And I'm really looking forward to that because Team Impulse, they play a lot more fast and loose, and they often win by team fighting again and again. So the team that imposes their style, whether it be CLG with the rotations and turret pushing, or Impulse forcing fights when the other team doesn't want to, it's likely going to be the team that wins here.
And I think we're going to see both teams try to exert that very early on. You're going to see Rush making early moves and CLG possibly trying a lane swap and then trying to get that advantage early on because they're going to try to set the tempo first. And whoever gets that jump is really going to have the upside here. And TIP yesterday, going on their performance, they pulled out 4 new champions and they performed on them. And they've had a mixed history of performing. We've seen Impact's Yasuo yesterday was really good. Last time he pulled out a new champion, it was like Morgana top lane. Really good success on that champion. So the fact he's able to whip out these things and he's able to perform on stage with them is a blessing to TIP. Because on the other side, we have Rush. Like Rush yesterday, he had a 91% kill participation on Evelynn. Last time he tried to whip out a new champion, it was like Sejuani in the playoffs. And that did not go well for this team. No. So they have a mixed bag when trying new things. And yesterday was a good sign for them of things to come.
And I'm really excited for this series, or this game, I should say, just because of how darn good, like, all these players are. Like, you go down the roster, and you're like, Impact, like, probably by far the best top laner in the NALCS, and Zion Spartan, who's probably top 3 for himself by far. You've got Rush, who is, I think, clearly the best mechanical jungler here in the NALCS, and Smithy is also a very mechanics-heavy driven player. They're both like big Lee Sin mains. That's going to be explosive. You got Rush Hour bot lane in here. Like, there's so many like wonderful household names doing battle that, like, regardless of whichever style happens, the team fight is going to be super fun to watch because you have some of the very best players in the region in this game.
And the thing for me when the team fights do break out is how is Pobelter going to hold up on this CLG, newest member to this roster? Mm-hmm. How is he going to perform in these team fights and mesh with them when TIP, all they do is basically team fight, so they know each other's ins and outs?
All right, well, both of these teams starting 1-0. One of them's got to win, one of them's got to lose. We'll find out as we send it to our caster desk for the call. Doublelift explains that Impulse is one of the league's biggest wildcards and has gotten the attention of all of the top teams.
I think everyone has their eye on Tip. Even the really top teams like Cloud9 and TSM, they're always eyeing Tip because they do a lot of really smart stuff that other teams don't do. I guess they're a threat, yeah. I'm not like super scared of them, but they're one of those teams that can take a game off anybody.
I wouldn't have expected any less from Doublelift. I'm not afraid of them. That's exactly what Doublelift says about everybody.
You have to keep your eye on them because their style is so fast-paced. If you have a quick tempo team like that, then just one small mistake early game, they rush you down.
And it's more than one of their players that can make that happen as well. It's not the full team that needs to take care of that mistake. Let's check out the teams with a roster rundown on the blue side. It's going to be Team Impulse. That's Impact in the top lane, Rush in the jungle, Xiao Zhao in mid, AD carry is Apollo, and Adrian at support.
And on the red side, it's Counter Logic Gaming. Up top, Zion Spartan in the jungle, and Smithy, mid, Pobelter, AD carry Doublelift, and support Aframu.
I'm sure they saw the Yasuo play yesterday from Impact. I'm sure they're not too worried about it, but they know there are tricks up the sleeve. Science?
Yasuo is science. For Team Impulse, they've got the two main Yasuo players.
Down to a science, you could say.
Definitely have that. The Bomby Cinder pickup, an Impact special. I was talking to all the other top laners, and they're like, not really sold on it. But he gets it every game in solo queue when he plays top Yasuo. So I like it. Adds some magic damage.
Magic damage. A little bit more power for you. And Impact's really good at pretty much using any edge he can get in the lane.
So they are a bit wary of the full assassin dive squad. They don't want to let Xiao or Impact grab an assassin like Fizz and Snowball on them.
Wouldn't be surprised to see this last one, Alistar as well from Impulse, but that'd be a lot of focus for the Moo. Could be something they pick for themselves, but they did ban his Bard.
Fizz ban.
And Fizz ban as well.
I wonder if they'll ban another assassin. Because LeBlanc is a very, very powerful AP assassin as well. Ooh. Okay, so this is actually very common. Impulse, they continually ban Gargus. They banned it yesterday on blue side, which could have been, hey, we don't want you to first pick that. Now, I've got confirmation. Impulse, Rushes does not want to play Gragas. They don't want to first pick it. They don't, they're going to ban it on blue side as well. The immediate Alistar pickup, a very big takeaway from Aframu to support that ban that they have with Bard as well.
So Ashe gets left up for another game as well. We'll keep
Kalista, another first-round pick.
And Kalista gets the first round, right.
Not gonna be banned, first pick.
Liking the power she brings to the lane. Smithy is going to go with the Sejuani this time. Bring those Scrim ults into the stage. 35 seconds on the clock for Impulse. Hey, now. I got to get mine. I don't have to do anything for the rest of the season now.
CLG, they said so many times they have confidence in Smithy. He landed Sedge-ults and Scrims. He's a really strong mechanical player. They keep on saying these things. They obviously have the confidence in him to go back to the champion.
Absolutely.
You had one bad game. It's not that big a deal. It was a pretty big deal, but they do have the confidence that he can go back to it.
Here we go. We get the Evelynn Kobe, and the Hecarim is going to be in the top lane. We'll see. Should go with the Smite. We saw Gamsu playing the Ignite Hecarim just yesterday, but Impact probably go for that Bomby again and get himself big in the Cinder Hulk.
Yeah, I actually prefer Ignite Hecarim against Kalista. Because of the fact that you want to get you want to spike early, you want to have the damage to, you're right, one-shot that Kalista. Just smash her in the back lane. Don't give her a chance to deal damage to you. You won't need challenging smite if you kill her immediately. And that's what you have to do because she lifesteals and she kites you.
We just saw that happening last game as well from Core JJ. Down to about 20 HP and kept himself alive on that Kalista, so it definitely is possible. The last two picks to come in for Team Impulse here. They're only seeing 4 members of CLG, Gnar and Thresh being those last 2 pickups. So a pretty well-rounded team here from Chronologic Gaming. Nothing surprising. What can Impulse do? Give them that self with the edge. Maybe the Diana? We saw Xiao doing a bit of that. Definitely taking their time, that's for sure. LeBlanc actually being left up through very few of the ban phases, this being one of them.
Yeah, so far, CLG have, well, yeah, they're picking Gnar early first pick, and, nope, they had it after. Okay, never mind. So, anyway, CLG, they've got the slower starting jungler. So, all of the early moves here, I'm going to be looking at Rush. You can even invade very early with Evelynn as well, and harass Sejuani, make her life that much more painful. Ah, there's the sustained damage. They lock it in. Shurima for CLG is going to provide the late game AP damage. And double lift hopping around should be enough as far as the AD. There is the LeBlanc as well. I mentioned as the other assassin. They banned out Fizz and Yasuo. But basically, the most common thread here for Impulse, Sivir. They could get all move speed, and they can rush towards you, blow up a target.
Have great positioning in the team fights, and it's something that Impulse loves to do. Even if they lose one, you'll see them come back and pretty much be in another team fight right after getting out of the base.
Ever since Apollo stopped playing Graves, Sivir's been his most common. Back to the champion over and over and over. It's perfect for the team. It's perfect for Hecarim. You like to give him extra damage with the speed. And it's just their style of zerging people down. Works really well.
Fly and Zixlol to get a quick handshake in. Also getting the Alistar away from Alphamu. And still on to Adrian, who loves his engages. He's a Leona player. He knows what going in is all about. And the time has come once again to go live. So head over to Twitter and vote on the outcome of this game.
If you think Team Impulse are going to win with their impulsive playstyle, send that hashtag chaos in to win. Or if you think CLG's more methodical approach and more objective-oriented gameplay will carry the day, send that hashtag order in to win.
That's right. We'll see what happens here. What do you like, Kobe? Chaos or order? You're a jungler, so you like order in the beginning and then chaos.
So I really do enjoy chaotic games. However, I've had so many games this week that have just been about team fighting that I would like to see how they deal with an objective-oriented game. Because we've had plenty of blood for the day. Let's see how we do with some rotations, as they say.
Of blood, indeed. Well, there'll be a little bit of fear and unexpected by the Eve already. Rush likes to be in the enemy's jungle, and he can do so even more now. Got a little sound off the boomerang from Zionspar. Good catch on the way back around. It looks like they're going to be able to stay safe on this and at least stop Rush from getting an early ward in that would have been towards Raptors.
Well, the duo lane successfully got all the way top without being scouted. So even though CLG are going in for deep wards, they're very late deep wards, and Impulse have already gotten their duo lane up to the top side. See if they can escape the wrath of Double Lift and Aframu on the Kalista Thresh combo. Now, that being said, a Sivir Alistar lane is a very, very solid lane. They can be very defensive because Alistar is a strong bodyguard. Sivir with a spell shield. They can repel ganks fairly well. But just the power
of
that would Thresh Kalista is extremely intimidating.
Looks like we are going to get matched up here. Not going to see Rush.
Can't see me.
He's going to hatch that thing before it goes away.
Look at this ward, baby. So, Evelynn, greatest strength, able to bypass wards.
1, 2,
and
3,
here they
4.
come. They're going to collapse, find him on the blue.
Oh, boy.
Take quite a bit of damage.
There's going to be some flashes burned here. Two-man pulverize coming in from Adrian. Double lift already over the wall. He should be safe on that side. And shouldn't be too much chase to come off of here as well. But CLG do not
Rush
get
got
the start
blue.
they want.
Rush got the babies.
Yep.
Huge play there from Team Impulse. Such a risky, really late invade from CLG to go for the deep wards. They didn't commit to it really early on. Impulse were able to leave a ward behind. Plus, they already had their duo lane up top. Great collapse there from Impulse. They're already reaping the benefits of an Evelynn jungle. Because she's invisible, can work around those wards. Great collapse from the team. Impact as well.
Really big for the Evelynn play there. She was standing on a ward. Xiao taking that early damage as you would expect from an Azir. Does not make
Poe
it feel
Velter
good.
crushing that trade.
He wants it. Give me that gold, he says.
25.
Gets it. Siege wave here. It looks like he will start to back off a little bit, knowing Xiao has some minions to hide in this time with a quick distort. And even on the trade, a Q for a soldier, and Poe Belter rather is winning this.
Yeah.
Not gonna.
Saw an interview yesterday. Poe Belter did with Travis about their first day, and he was perturbed about people who didn't buy into the Poe Belter hype and didn't give him credit. Since he hasn't had success in LCS, he is definitely considers himself extremely strong mid lane player still, and he definitely has shown it. Great mechanics, already seeing it early on in lane. The timing there to interrupt the dash with his own, grab the shield as well, come out ahead in trades like that. Those are the small things that give you the power in mid lane, that give you the control. We always look at the after effects in these games. Oh yeah, he's got mid lane control, and they're able to do jungle pressure.
He's keeping the lane very safe as well, as we keep talking about him, knowing that he can't push up too much. There it is from Adrian, kind of just waiting on it. See how much damage they actually trade through this one, and the focus stays onto Alphamu. Very nice from Apollo there.
Oh yeah.
Double lift having to stay on the farm rather than trading.
Great combo from Adrian, right out of the brush. Nice damage trade. Easy boomerang blade to run over the top.
was just talking about Pobelter. The Eve is still roaming around, so he can't just keep spitting out soldiers over at Xiao and push that lane up. Gotta be careful as well. More aggression from Adrian, like you said. Very big Leona player, so getting on the Alistar almost means he can go in a little bit more as he gets those Triumphant Roar heals out every so often.
Yeah, and Rush already collecting the pink ward tax that comes along with playing against Evelynn. Green wards are fairly useless, so you have to invest heavily by pinks early on. Rush already found the first pink ward, killed it, and is able to pull off the invade. Xiao, since they were able to shove up that lane.
Steal the first blue.
Blue stolen away. 5 minutes, they'll have the timer. CLG can approximate the timer and get some more pink wards up later. But as of right now, entire bottom side of the map littered with wards. Rush has been able to secure impact, a solid lane down bottom for the Hecarim. Up top, though, not so much.
Ooh. Not enough wards towards the top side of the map for Impulse. They've been getting aggressive, and Xmithy says we can make a play off of this with Aphromoo and Double if they do so. We've already one kill over to Double. However, he goes down in the fight, and they're going to give this one over to Xmithy. Very nicely done there to trade those over.
Yeah, the 2-for-1 plus the first blood as well. Bonus gold there for... Oh wait, CLG got the bonus gold, that's why.
Indeed.
Oh yeah, both of them. Back down bottom. Just farming along with Zion. Comfortable with the deep wards that they have.
Not too bad. He's found a way to get a few CS lead to that bottom lane. We do have to remember that Zion was kind of up here with the team at Blue Buff when it started, and Impact was not, so it's kind of been even since Zion got to lane, to say. See if we get any pressure from Xmithy down towards the bottom lane as he makes his route down there. They already have vision on him from Xiao and Rush's last excursion into the jungle. They still have a few wards over there, so everything that CLG is going to try to do right now will be difficult. Adrian back to the top lane. Try to prevent another gank here from Xmithy. They already have pink wards out, which is good for them. You see that CLG, not too many wards until they can get the pinks, because it really won't matter. There's an Eve on the map.
True. Sightstone has been completed from Afro, though. Around the 7-minute mark, when you get that recall, it was a forced recall because they died, but Aphromoo able to get up his Sightstone, and he's going to go roaming to try and get some wards down. The dive forces a flash.
Trying to see what the movement on the minimap is. Nothing too big from either team here. Zion Spartan feels like he can stay in lane, easily jumping out without any crowd control coming out of these two champions.
See how close Smithy is to that fabled level 6.
Chain miss. All right. Emperor's Divide goes out. Does Pobelter have the move on his soldiers to get back into fighting range? Almost hitting Xiao. He hits up the elixir and he stays alive because he chugged it just the last second. A little bit of help coming in as well from Rush. Pulls off on the fight.
Yeah, 1v2 there. Pobelter fends off the attackers. Almost grabs the kill there onto Xiao. But he's running barrier, not ignite.
Yeah.
Oh, Rush looking for a little sneaky kill here. And stop.
Got him. Agony's Embrace. Pobelter flashes up, but he has nowhere to flash. Great move there by Rush to take that out.
Yeah, and he's going to run into Smithy here. See how this turns out first.
Get the permafrost down.
W.
Adrian backside. Fate's Call's been brought in. Fate's Call is out. Xmithy could get out here. It hits Double Lift with the Pulverize and the headbutt going in. They cannot get the kill onto Xmithy with a sliver of health here. And it looks like Apollo and Adrian may go down. Turn around here from Xiao. Another teleport actually coming in from Zion Spartan. Impact, actually Zion's seemed to be stopped in that situation, or he just went farther behind. Impact was already started is what it was, and Zion Spartan could actually not offer up any help. Does he decide to jump in and get out of this one? No, he does not. He's set back by Apollo in that situation. What chaos, Kobe. I think chaos is going to be taken over in this one so far.
You can hear the chants. The game pace going in TIP's favor. Now, all started out with Rush. By the way, the reason he was... let's take a look here. Never mind. we'll skip ahead to when he walks into Smith.
Yeah.
Saves the W for all of the slows for Sejuani, then uses it to dodge the ultimate. As soon as you see that, you know Smithy's going to hear about that one. He does escape, though. Gets out. He must have had, like, single-digit HP there after Xiao Xiao's auto attack. He gets out, though he's going to circle around and come back because the teleports do come in. Xiao Xiao walks right through the box, gaining his invisibility. Gains health off of the heal from Apollo as well. And Impact runs straight past Afromu because he's dead. In for the kill on double lift. And Smithy tries to lock him up, but without the ultimate, you can't lock him up under the turret.
Yeah.
And Smithy just ends up going down as well after escaping so narrowly. CLG give back quite a lot of gold to Impulse as they play to the beat of their drum.
That's right. It's like nobody can figure out whether they want Chaos or Order to win. Just a few to the side of Order right now. Worked in the early game, but Chaos is starting to prevail. Good ult against the wall. They're just going to really do a wet noodle fight for the majority of this one, back and forth as they scratch each other's back. No kills to come out of the top lane without any jungler intervention, I don't think, coming in this game. See Blue going over to Pobelter in the mid lane. He's finally able to get one of those for himself, so can hopefully start pushing Xiao back, get himself to assist some of these other lanes.
Yeah, now he's got to really start worrying about the combos from Xiao. LeBlanc at this point, post level 6. As you can see, Pobelter really respecting it from Xiao, especially with that blue buff. Going to be able to pull off combos really quickly. Low cooldown ultimate from Xiao. He's going to be able to use that for harass over and over. You whittle him down until he gets to the kill point. But junglers are bottom right now, so.
Making sure they're safe. Seeing that ward placement makes Adrian question what the environment around them is about. So he just goes, make sure they don't have any trouble. Also giving Rush a little bit of help if he got caught there towards Scuttle. So a lot of teamwork here by Impulse.
Yeah, and you can see the effects of Evelynn just being in the game. All the lanes, well, except for top lane, playing very defensively. Rush looking for the invade. He's just going to chunk Smithy here. See if he can get some damage done. Got the better of the trade. But just Evelynn being on the map. Evelynn's whole point is, early on, build very offensively. You're all about skirmish. You're about high-impact, short plays, using your invisibility. Here comes the dive. Adrian should be the point man with the ultimate.
Oh, double lift couldn't get over to the lantern in time, and it was Xiao that pushed Pobelter into the mid lane first with the distortions, and then headed to the bot lane. Good move by Impulse. Pobelter back to mid as it resets with the siege wave, and should be able to get Dragon and make it back before they miss too much on the side of Impulse.
Yeah, we always talk about compositions that like to control the neutral objectives. Pretty much just Team Impulse love those type of compositions, so they, as a team, like to do that as well. So early Dragon always big for Team Impulse. They usually run these short-range compositions, a lot of Sivir speed boosts so that they can take advantage of teams if they do come out into the open field.
See if we can get an answer here from CLG. They already know they've been spotted out, but losing Dragon, losing bot lane, kind of just want to get something else here out of Impulse's jungle. Looks like it's only going to be some camps for now. Impact has already made the move to get himself to safety.
Deny as many CS as he can.
Yep.
The minion wave will group up on that last minion. Oh, he's coming back to push one more. Probably has to purchase. Oh, speaking of purchasing, the other thing that I dropped off after the rush play.
Do tell.
When he was waiting there, as Pobelter was recalling, the reason you wait until the very last second is because you're preying on them being already in the item shop. And if they're not paying attention, if you wait till the very last second, then sometimes they won't react. It just makes it a bit easier to pick up those kills.
Catch him windows.
Even though he saw no mana on Pobelter, he knew he had no summoner spells, and he's Evelynn, so he's got a speed boost, still waited till the very last second just to make it a bit easier and make sure he gets that kill.
It also feels terrible when you die that way.
Staring at the shop already? Yeah.
Staring at the shop, not knowing, and your team's yelling at you, hey, and you die.
I don't know if anybody just stares at their champion for a full duration of a recall all the time.
Some people don't stare at their champion when they're walking across the map. This is when we get pink boards walked over all the time.
True.
Many times that you avert your eyes and they need to be right in the center of the screen. 6-4, so far Impulse has been able to find everything that they wanted, at least in this early game, to not fall behind. CLG was also able to pick up a few kills, but nobody with a real definitive lead. I'm sure the Dragon can still be challenged by CLG as it comes up for the second time here. We'll see what Impulse can do with Rush. He's been in the face of Xmithy a few times.
Oh, Zion.
Back and forth in this lane. It seems like Zion in mini form here, getting the hyper shots, is able to do a bit more damage than going into Gnar form. And he doesn't even have to get that one. Solo kill for Zion onto Impact.
You do not see that happen often. Solo kill on Impact. Black Cleaver was just completed for Zion, so that is the new Black Cleaver, stacking up the shred the entire duration of the fight. Now, the pink ward drop, can't be 100% sure if it was a misclick or if he was checking that Evelynn was already there. If you drop it on yourself, it's probably a misclick because she'll show herself in that range anyway. So it's a little bit unfortunate that Zion does lose his pink ward there. But there's a small chance that he was dropping it to cover his retreat and would see Evelynn if she was coming from behind him.
So, distribute blue over to Xiaowei Xiao, 139 to 130 in the mid lane. Quite even. Actually, across the lanes, really our biggest deficit comes between Apollo and Doublelift from those few kills in the early part of the game. Doublelift died 3 times, but he's also found himself 3 kills on top of that. And he'd get big. The BF sword looks like it could be switched into that Bloodthirster, and his Hurricane is already on the way.
Yeah, CLG, they would love, according to our hashtags, to find a battle where they can actually set up beforehand, charge the Rage Bar for Gnar, and pull off either a teleport or even just set up S5 to get a team fight where they can set up those battle lines and have a solid front line with Azir at the back, being able to use his ultimate to have another form of peel for Doublelift and not allow Impulse to get a flank. Impulse, they're all about that home guard teleport, the Evelynn flank, and the speed boost from Sivir to try and split up CLG and pick them off. CLG, as long as they stay disciplined, even though they are behind, in 5 vs 5, they would have a...
Ooh, Rush taking half there. Death Sentence does not connect, but both teams having a bit of the same idea as they make their way to the top lane. Looking to at least drop that turret and start to open up the map. We saw Impulse already trade that over. They've taken down bottom turret quite quickly, and they're trying to get a next one down here. Not finding anything as CLG is just playing that safe game all across the map right now.
Xiao not really able to bring kill pressure to Pobelter, who is playing very safe. He's playing, halfway back in the lane. Anytime Xiao goes aggressive, he respects the Evelynn. Pobelter pulls back off, doesn't take any chances.
Something you have to do. Pobelter knows it could go very bad. Have one kill go over to Xiao or Rush, and they keep repeating that. He has been able to fend for himself quite well. We already saw that 1v1 in the mid lane have to have some jungler intervention before they took each other down. The flash for Xiao. Shouldn't put him off too much with the double distortion.
Yeah. And as the game goes longer and longer, and we start seeing more grouping, and we start seeing more vision, which CLG can use to control the pace of the game, Evelynn does really fall off. Yes, she is amazing in the early game. She brings so much of a surprise factor to your team. However, she does fall off later, especially against this squad, the CLG squad. Being a melee champion without a true gap closer is going to be very difficult for him. He'll have to use his W very wisely and transition into a tank build as well. Looks like he's already transitioning towards tank items in preparation.
Both teleports up for these top laners right now as Dragon is up. Looks like the ward's really being placed heavily here by CLG. It's something they want to get out of it, and that's quite big as well. That's going to be down for Dragon. The teleport is still there, so he can home guard in still, I guess. Won't have as much of an impact, if you will.
Definitely not. Big ultimate down. This is the moment of truth here. No Hecarim ultimate. Is that enough? It looks like it is. Now, the steal possibility is not there, so if Impulse go for this, it's 100% trying to kill the team. Because a Rend plus a jungler there...
Good luck.
Yeah, if that gets stolen from you, it's a miracle. And it just has to do with the small timing window between Rend's activation and the smite.
So with that back and forth in the top lane, CLG keep their turret, rotate Doublelift and Afromu down. Able to grab that dragon. Looks like they'll be losing that one quite soon as Impulse focuses everything towards the top side here. And Doublelift's just going to farm out the bottom. So they're kind of getting what they want in the scraps of the outer part here as we enter into the mid game and start breaking out of the laning phase. CLG actually looks like they're going to get enough of a defense to stop top from going down as well. So good movement after the dragon. Keeping solid. The order is coming to be here. Looks like that might actually take down Impact as he goes a little too hard for this top turret without the wards there. He just used his ult to get out of a situation like this. Does not have a flash because he's running that smite in the top lane. Rush comes up here as well. Great pressure from Adrian and the team. Zion Spartan throws everybody and placks them up against the wall as a trophy. They're only able to come away with 2. Adrian peels himself off and gets back down. This is... Oh, pole belter! That wasn't even the shield. It just was not in range. He flashed forward for it. They still are going to get Adrian for their troubles with another death sentence coming in from Afromu, and CLG's order picks up a few more.
Yep, definitely prevailing there. And Zion is a monster. This guy is crushing the game. He picks up a solo kill on Impact. He's quick to the rotation. He's there to back him up. Zion's going to take over this game if it continues as is. So far, strong MVP performance for him this time around. Yesterday we had Quas. Today we have Zion. Good Gnar play on the first week of the LCS in North America.
It really is a big change for just about everybody that's bringing out the Gnar now. 301 for Zion Spartan in that top lane, starting with the Black Cleaver. He's given a lot of trouble over to Impact throughout this game, and CLG working off again. That ultimate being down, knowing they have the upper hand.
Yep, so Smithy takes the lantern out. Zion says, we're not done here. Gnar into the wall, 3-man. They're able to get the AoE, and even though more members of Impulse collapse to the fight, because they're able to grab the 2 kills first, big win there for CLG. Afro also, by the way, followed it up. He grabbed the extra kill onto Adrian with his flash hook, snagging another one for the CLG squad.
Not doing too bad. Participating in 7 of the 8 kills so far for CLG. It's kind of how Afromu played it for them in the beginning of the season, being the one to always be there for the rotations of his team or the other team. And CLG is able to capitalize now on these lane swaps back and forth, but still finding the kills in the lane once they get there, not through the transition.
Once you have, especially Zion, the one getting fed, once you have this really strong front line,
Whoops. Open your eyes! Closed eyes engaged from CLG, it seems. No, they just missed quite a few. Great dodges by Impulse as well, but you can only dodge so much. Impact getting hit up here, trying to get Spear to the Dragon. They heal him back up even more. Hits the consumable, but he still goes down as Apollo's trying to hit the DPS from the outside. Pole Belter is going to drop Adrian, and Zion Spartan here on the heels of Apollo is going to drop him down. No, misses the Gnar ult, but Xiao missed the chain, so they have a little bit more time to run around. He's able to pull janitor duty and take down both Zion Spartan and Nick Smithy at the end of that fight. The only one alive for his team.
Pobelter? Hello? He's pretty low somehow as well.
A little low.
Probably was fighting off screen with Xiao, trying to get there.
He was busting up
Xiao was probably
through.
blocking him from getting in. But wow, what a close fight. Swings back, our chaos meter swings back a little bit the other way here. Impulse scrapping together some kills. But CLG coming out decently in it as well. Not too bad of a bout for them.
Yeah. A little scary, but they were able to reorganize a little too far away from the turret once it started. Had these first initiations hit, CLG could have come away quite clean here.
Right, all right, so here's the initiation. Face Call used early. Rush flashes it, actually. Gets back in there. Rend resets. Impact does get a decent ultimate there. Nice ulti from Smithy. Hits that one point blank onto Apollo. Basically, it's just straight up 2 versus 2. Smithy does escape at this point narrowly, but once again, he escapes narrowly with his life and only comes back in to die later at the end here. So he comes back, he wants to secure a kill, but he's 100% going to die for that anyway, and it looked like, I guess Doublelift got the credit for that kill, but Zion probably had it locked up. I think that Smithy from now on, once he makes these great escapes initially from the fight, with like single-digit HP, should count as blessings and go home.
Just got to get close enough to get permafrost on again, then he can help. Usually that means death.
You can tell he's got the mentality of 1 kill for my life is worth it. He's got that hashtag worth jungle life.
Sometimes it works.
Yeah, so far, both times, not so much.
Not so much indeed. The gold's still quite close, though. About 1,000 separates these two teams, so nothing really to catapult anybody into the lead too much. That Luden's Echo finished up on Xiao, however, could do a bit more than CLG is expecting coming into these fights. Maybe not the Pobelter. He has gotten the Abyssal Scepter on himself. That will really help soldiers do more damage around the fight as well, because these are going to be grouped up and quite long with the tanks we got going with Hecarim and Alistar against a Gnar and a Sejuani. Still a little bit before we probably get these 5v5s. A lot of this split lane going on between Zion and Impact for the majority of the game. Mid's being pushed by CLG right now, and they may be able to get some good damage down. It looks like Impact actually is going to have to react to this.
Yeah, they're trying to keep up the pressure on 2 fronts here. Using the Azir Tower to buy more time for Zion, who does have a decent lead. 3-1-3.
Teleports up for Zion. He's heading back for now. See if he decides to keep going with that. He gets himself a Randuin's and a few more wards. Doublelift has a good wave to just be clearing out the bottom and get way big once he gets this all cleaned up.
Yeah. I mean, think about who's going to be able to kill Doublelift. Unless they do get the flank, Impulse options are really running out. So they should spend this time right now to try and set up for that flank. Get the Hecarim teleport home guard combined with the Evelynn. And their aim is to try and split up CLG so that Xiao can find an opening on a squishy target. This one not too squishy, but they get him anyway.
Take him down in his PJs. No chance to get home.
He actually doesn't have any magic resist before going back and buying the cowl. So at that point, fairly squishy to Xiao at least, since Zion was building for his 1 versus 1 with Impact.
Whee! Nice. Oh, it's not going to matter. He's way faster. They're going to get it down. Oh, no, it does matter. The dark passage to the light. What a savior. Oh, knocked all the way back. Impact not getting the situation he wanted from start to finish.
Shurima drift. And we got the tower shove here, and it's going to cost them an inhibitor turret, though. So even though Pobelter escapes with his life, they get the kill on Impact. Impulse, they gain an inhibitor turret.
All right, so this is a Gnar coming in. Not on home guard, but he is the wall between Impulse leaving. A tiny wall at that. They might be able to jump over him. Smithy trying to get through. Bounces. Actually not activated all the way through.
The heck?
You're going to see these guys work the top lane. Xiao trying to figure out if he can get enough damage onto Zion Spartan. He's going to take it fully. Zion, Gnar's out, and Gnar's minions into the wall. Fight now onto Apollo. The focus going back onto Adrian and Xiao. Smithy may be biting off more than he can chew, but it seems like Xiao has actually walked away from the fight, knowing they don't have enough without Impact being there and no teleport to come in. Still going to have to keep moving. Should be able to get out easy, but CLG gain a bit more in this game. 16 now to 11, and they finally get about a 1.5 thousand gold lead.
You know, the inhibitor...
Not much more, actually. I thought it would be bigger.
Yeah. The inhibitor turret, usually that's a huge, crucial point. But if CLG can continue this control, then it won't really matter very much. Impulse are not going to group up as 5 and push that top anyway. So if CLG can dictate the pace here for the mid-game, then sacrificing that inhibitor turret for those 4 mid-game kills might very well be worth it here. Let's take a look at this. They corral Impulse against the wall, and everybody immediately uses everything they have to jump on Doublelift. Yeah. If you don't take him out early, then the sustain is going to wreck you. But everybody focuses on Doublelift. They find themselves in the middle of the CLG squad. Zion Spartan collapses, Pobelter comes up, and they're able to clean up the kills. So 4 kills there for CLG in fairly quick succession in exchange for that inhibitor turret push from Team Impulse. See if they can actually create enough pressure to make that matter.
Yep. Bottom wave pinged out by CLG. Says Doublelift, go clean this up. We know you want to. Xiao looking to get a bit of poke pressure down as much as he can. That blue buff is on, so why not? Also have his Void Staff finished up. That Rabadon's will be coming in next for him. Get the 80 carries. Looking at everybody right now on some item spikes. It's pretty normal. Nobody too far ahead in this game. 80 carries are sitting on their Bloodthirster at Hurricane, Last Whisper, and Infinity Edge Yomu's Last Whisper. So they're doing the damage necessary. I don't know if they're going to get the fights they want, though. Doublelift was taken out immediately in that fight, and then Apollo, so they are going to have to be very careful in this next engage. 122 on Dragon. It's going to be number 4 of the game.
All right, they're
So
grouping
much
up.
setup.
CLG trying to create the order. They've got the turret in addition to the front line ready. There should be a strong tower push from them. They have everything available to them. Pink ward behind them to see if there's a very close ward for the home guard teleport to come in. There is not, so they just keep their backs to the wall. Try and get some of those Azir soldiers spawned on the turret. Get a chunk out of it.
Really great that they just picked out Rush as well over at the Wolf Camp. May not know where he is now, coming from that right side. Seen by Aframu, the call has been made. You see the team back up so they don't get hit by Agony's Embrace or a big Pulverize. Really well communicated, but Impact gets that gets the control of the team that he wants. They are all piled in is what I was looking for, and they don't come out with what they want. Double kill for Doublelift. And they just cannot get past that second Azir turret, still sticking together in the death ball. CLG not allowing their members to go down.
The perfect strategy against Team Impulse. CLG set up a fort right outside of the base and go with the siege. They just wait until
they
Impulse
want to take it. Wow. As I was saying, I'm surprised.
Aframu, ladies and gentlemen, Aframu.
Impact even wanted to take that with his ultimate. While it still looked picture perfect, they were still fighting under a turret. Confused me enough that I couldn't even find the word pile. Here we go. Once again, piling in, on the Baron pit. Apollo looking at Pole Belter. Now Zion Spartan's all over him, trying to get somebody to go down, but Impact can't helicopter around enough and get the DPS out. CLG bleeding health bars across the board, and they're still able to somewhat fend off and get themselves out of Baron safely. Scary, scary stuff in the chaos, but they're able to keep it clean.
Yeah, I really want to see what would happen if Apollo had committed to that fight 100%. I'm so curious if they would have been able to pull out that 2v5. He must have already had Boomerang Blade and the Bouncing Blades on cooldown, because if he had not, I think he probably could have picked up a multi-kill, but they were probably on cooldown and he didn't have much more burst left.
All right, Impulse picking up these dragons. Quite necessary. Get to Aspect at this point and really be able to put something strong down the lanes towards Counter Logic Gaming.
Yeah, because Apollo made the safer choice, cooler heads prevail, he's able to pick up a turret for his team and dragon for his team. So those are the bonuses of not taking the huge risk of trying to all-in that 2 versus 5.
Also, we see Rush now building up the Glacial Shroud. He'll be kind of, what's that point where he really is going to start falling off?
Excuse me, who?
For Evelyn.
Oh yeah, Evelyn's already started to fall off. But the way that Rush builds it, it's not bad. Rush is still always relevant in this game. He doesn't fall off hard. He brings 2 auras to his team. He stacks up, even though he overbuilds on cooldown reduction, that is the most valuable stat for Evelyn. So he's got double auras with the Frozen Heart plus the Magic Resist aura. So he brings a whole bunch of utility to his team. Plus he's got the side swipe. He comes in for the flank. So it's not like he gets terribly outscaled. Sejuani ultimates are going to be big though.
Boards for Counter Logic Gaming. Not really peeking him out just yet. Again, Impulse forced to walk away from this one if CLG even starts to approach the fight here. They want to get it on their terms.
Yeah.
Impulse has to get the edge in this fight. CLG will definitely be on some inhibitor turrets after this unless they just go for Baron and back. Before that, they don't exactly have the waves to push fully throughout this fight. And that's what Impulse is banking on right now, is that we don't have waves knocking on our front door. This could be the point to make the chaos happen. Quickly just taking out a few.
Everybody, hold your breath.
Yeah. CLG easily going to peel off this and take a full fight. Xiao distorts away as they play it safe. And Impulse will probably be happy peeling away CLG so they don't get the Baron if they waste time here.
So because they sent Impact to prune the wave bottom, they've relieved the pressure down bottom, but Impulse going to have to scatter. They lose the Alistar ultimate. It's going to be fairly big for them. CLG returned just to the siege. Looks like Impact is going to get a pretty good push on the bottom lane, but it will cost them this turret.
Pushing forward once more. One more second-tier turret for CLG to knock down here. Another methodical game after the early game for them, just as they played it yesterday. Keeping it calm, cool, and collected once they do get a lead. Not pressuring themselves into anything too dangerous.
Yeah, and another spot for them to set up an outpost, to raise the Azir turret and siege up.
Yeah.
They return to the Baron because they've been able to clean it. And it's up to Impulse. Here comes the teleport. Impact is arriving.
So they get Adrian so he can't lock it down. That's the smite going over to CLG. They get Baron and the fight goes in. Adrian gets a full pop-up on the team. Apollo's not able to fight in there though. An ult from Pobelter kept everybody out of the pit. Big Smithy follows through. He hits the Glacial Prison and now they're on to the rest of Team Impulse with Xiao, a sliver of health just towards the top side of the map. Everything was played perfectly by CLG there.
Yep, could very well be game-winning push now. They've got Baron buff, minion wave in place already, and they have Azir.
Just about biding that time. They were hanging out at Baron a few minutes ago. Now they have the minion waves after hanging out at Baron. And like you said, Kobe, it could very well be game with about 30 seconds on. Two members of Team Impulse here, and the ones that are coming up aren't going to be able to make too much of a difference. The first Nexus turret looking to go down as Xiao tries to deter CLG from putting more damage on it.
10 seconds. Ooh.
Be close. They are going to be forced to back off once more, but not for long. They'll be back soon.
Order. Riv.
Order indeed.
Who went back? Somebody. No, it didn't fully complete. All right, so they have Baron empowered recalls. They should be able to escape really easily.
4 seconds. There you go.
He snagged one person. Oh, he's got two.
Guys are going to get each other killed now.
He's got an ultimate ready.
Oh, man. Not exactly what they were expecting to happen after taking a Nexus turret.
All right, Chaos.
Nobody should get caught, and Chaos prevails for a quick second here. It's not going to hurt CLG too much, but they won't be able to come out of base with a full 5 Baron. I was going to say maybe a 3 Baron if Zion Spartan went down, but they do save his life, or he saves his life, I should say.
4 Baron buffs still on CLG.
Yeah.
Only so the support went down. Not the end of the world with the uncoordinated Baron recalls there. They'll take that hit, no problem. Set up the Dragon, 1 minute away. Does buy more time for Team Impulse, though, to look for picks. They need to work with Fog of War. They've got a strong LeBlanc. Xiao has plenty of firepower.
Yep.
If he can find somebody out of position from a bush, he can pull off a surprise kill. Not on Zion Barn, he's got a Banshees. But on somebody else, the possibility is there. Rush is going to be searching around for that pocket to pull off the play on Evelynn. You also have to be careful in the late game as Evelynn not to face check too many brush, not to be too overconfident with your safety of your permanent invisibility, because this is the stage in the game where people just leave pink wards lying around in random brush, and if you walk too close to one, then CLG can make you pay for it. Right now, though, grouping right back up, raise the Azir turret, go to siege work, see if they can get something done with Pobelter popping soldiers on the turret. Yes, they can.
Woo. No contest there. Like you said, putting soldiers down on the turret. Quite a bit of burst damage to them. Adrian already with the ultimate on, something the team needs to defend the base. And now they are worse off without it. Inhibitor is going to start taking some shots. You see Xmithy trying to put the front wall of beef there so nobody can get by him. He's got level 16 ult, so he's good on that. Rush is actually still level 15, so he's not bringing ult level 3 to this fight. And CLG is across the board. We're going to see what happens. Xmithy may not be able to get a good ult off in this one. It looks like Impulse breaks it right away. Xiao still on the bottom side, does a bit of in and out damage, but it is Pobelter and the rest of the team along with Double Lift cleaning up these kills one after the other. Apollo threaded one in there for the team, but it's not enough. 3 members of CLG stand tall. They take down the Nexus turret, and at 39 minutes, Counter Logic Gaming walk away from week 1 2-0 as CLG takes down Team Impulse. Very soft hugs. That didn't look like a Sejuani hug.
Pobelter, great game on his ear. Crucial to the strategy.
Oh,
They're
pile in. They're getting this whole huddle thing down. Order.
it's just like it's like a phalanx. Nobody breaks the lines.
Yep.
You have power when you rely on those next to you. And they were able to take home the victory. Solid strategy. Everybody kept together.
Solid strategy and solid plays. Counterlogic Gaming able to stave off a few early game plays from Impulse. And then come out quite strong. Pobelter holding off in mid. Wasn't having too much fun in the early game against Xiao. We saw him actually being able to push and get away from roams. So he was able to make up for that, which doesn't become easy.
9, 1, and 10 Pobelter as Azir versus LeBlanc and Evelyn.
Yeah. No, exactly. Just exactly. Whew. Already in the early part of the game, we saw him using his soldiers, so he just didn't push the lane. Staying back. You always want to be able to do damage, but you got to keep that mentality that it's better for the team if you play for them at that time, and he did. The rest of the team was able to work around him, and able to work around great initiations from Adrian as well. There were some good hits from Impact and Adrian that the team reorganized under and just came up big for Counterlogic Gaming. Squad seems to have a pretty solid roster coming into the first week of the summer split here. Still as well with the option once Huhi comes back to have him in the mid lane if there is any falter. We see that working for a lot of other regions, but not yet in NA that teams will so willingly switch out a mid laner due to a situation, due to a game. Maybe that time will come. Right now, Pobelter though, I think it's too hot to happen. Keep this guy in. Hashtag keep Belter.
Yeah, we'll see what happens when Huhi comes back over from Korea. Figures out those pesky visa issues.
It may come down to it where it's just kind of mentality against the player. Maybe he's better against so or so. Right now, like we said, Pobelter just too strong. Counterlogic Gaming finding some great structure in the first week. It seems that we say about it, most teams are faltering now in the early game. A little more than others, obviously, but still with what's happening, the mid game is where we are seeing the teams that have been together or have at least played together quite a bit as friends or as team are coming out.
Yep, CLG able to stay organized versus Impulse.
Just waiting, hopping in, seeing what everybody did for that game. Still seeing Impact on Hecarim, Xiao on LeBlanc. Impulse got the picks that they wanted that game, it seemed. Still had the Ashe up.
They definitely did.
Could have been a choice coming out through how they wanted to play it, but deciding to go with the Sivir Alistar, every Sivir ultimate was either trying to get the team to something CLG was already doing or backing away from CLG. We saw the first time they prepped up Baron, Impulse was like, all right, we'll walk back down into mid lane if you start to pressure us.
That's why Double F said, every team has to keep their eyes on Impulse because they go for those very quick plays with the Sivir speed boost. Evelyn, invisible jungle collapsing very quickly. They pick high damage, assassin for Xiao, and they try and snowball those little picks, catch people off guard into control of the game.
Control of the game, indeed. Right now, we're going to throw it over to Zyrene at the Telestrator to break down CLG's victory.
Thank you very much, Riv, and great cast on the day so far. I'm here to break down a play from the CLG game that actually got CLG back into it. And this is going to involve all of the map, and that's why we have this up here for you guys, because this originates, and a lot of the action is going to happen right in this little spot. As soon as I get that up there. Perfect. Right there. You're going to see Zion Spartan over the wall. He has the option to interrupt a back here from LeBlanc, from Xiao. He decides not to because a 3-man unit from CLG is going to come right in here and go around Hecarim, who's pushing top lane. Meanwhile, while this is happening, you're going to have Doublelift pushing bottom. He's going to get this bottom turret. He's going to go all the way to tier 2. LeBlanc is going to back and have to go straight to answer Doublelift because Sivir is right here. And Apollo is going to have to pop his ultimate to get to this group because of the fact that LeBlanc did not have her back interrupted by Zion Spartan. Therefore, he is the closest person to go answer that, and he needs to get there to even out the numbers. Pobelter also backs from the mid lane, though. He ends up going straight into this fight, and he actually gets a piece of it by the end of this fight. And there's some brilliant little team fight coordination as we get into the replay here that you're going to see from CLG that gets broken down on a micro level and a little bit of a team fight level. So as we pull that up on your screen here, you're going to see just how CLG executes it here. And this is where Zion Spartan, his boomerang is up, and he's ready to interrupt this as we get into it. So they know Rush is there. Pink Ward sees him. They're like, 3 people are top right now. There's 3 of us. There's 4 actually, counting Hecarim. She backs. 3 on 3. 2 people went down. They're split. They're going to come around. Zion Spartan uses his E here. And this is great. Because what's going to happen is Afromu covers the option straight up the lane to get impact. Zion Spartan, he doesn't have his E anymore. So he can't really go in a different direction unless he gets the lantern to get himself in there. But Smithy, he's lagging a little bit behind. But this works out in CLG's favor because he's going to turn his butt around. He's going to end up here and cut off the other option from Impact escaping. And that's just as we continue this clip out, you're going to see what happens. Because they had 2 people up there. Impact cannot go that way. He goes down, runs straight into Smithy. Now, Sivir's going to pop her ultimate. She needs to get here as fast as possible. Adrian comes in, Rush comes in because they split down bottom. And this is the 3-on-3 fight. Smithy gets out, Zion Spartan, great ultimate against the wall, and now Apollo shows up. Now it's finally an even fight, but by the time he gets there, there's already a double kill down. And Pobelter, since he came from that mid lane back, he gets into this fight. He gets a little bit of it at that end. And Xiao, he was down bottom answering Doublelift, who already is moving up to this fight if it continues. So Doublelift would have made it there if it had been a longer fight, and he would have made it there before Xiao. So that's the play there from CLG versus TIP. Now, that's it from me. Let's go head over to the analyst desk with Dash as he has an interview ready.
Thank you, Zion. Joined here by Zion Spartan and Doublelift after a very solid victory there. We were joking going into the game. This is going to be the battle between order and chaos. As we know, Impulse loves to play a chaotic game. They're very unpredictable in the way that they play. How did you guys feel you stacked up against the chaotic movements of Impulse?
Well, I can speak from bottom lane because I know that's like my only field of expertise against them, and they play really crazy, and they're always going for like really aggressive plays and dives when they outnumber you. And it was really hard, actually. Normally, Afro and I thrive in chaos. Like, we're really good at scrapping and fighting 2v2, 3v3. But even them, they give us like a pretty big challenge. And I think like 10 minutes in the game, I was 3-3, where another team wouldn't have given me so much trouble.
Well, you did have the fantastic early gank onto the top lane, but actually before that, I do want to talk about the level 1 that happened here, because we saw what appeared to be a pretty standard level 1. Early invade, dropping the wards for vision, setting up to take the blue buff, putting and having your AD carrying support on that side of the map to make it strong side. However, you're up against an Evelynn. So Zion, was this something that was considered, the fact that Evelynn was going to be able to walk through those wards? And you guys would never have known that you were actually walking into a straight-up 3v4 because you had back to go top lane?
I mean, yeah, that's definitely a possibility. I think the biggest thing is we just messed up our wards. So we didn't even have every lane covered. So we didn't even know where like their whole team could be. Their whole team could have just walked top lane and it would have been 5 people sitting in the brush. So that was probably our biggest mistake that game. And we didn't really think about Evelynn specifically walking through the wards because that wouldn't really matter. What would have mattered is their whole team being there. And since we messed up our ward vision, it was really bad.
All right, but a small miscalculation there, and you guys clawed your way back into the game after that. As I mentioned, the quick gank top lane secured 2 kills for 1 up there for you, Doublelift. The other thing before we get into the rest of the game is the fact that the Fizz and the Yasuo bans came out. And more just a curiosity as to whether or not that's just an immediate response to yesterday's play, or if this is something that Impulse has been showcasing throughout Scrim, saying like, no, we will play this all the time, and you're not up against the double assassin of their team.
Well, I think we just seen them play it in their game from yesterday, and it seems pretty frustrating to play against. And they're the only team that runs it, so it's not like you have a practice partner to like play against Fizz Yasuo. And honestly, in this meta, it's pretty random. I don't even think it's that great. It's just one of those random tip strats that they run. And Coach Gray, the boy wonder mastermind of our team, he decided
This guy's
to
got
ban
so many different names yesterday on the desk.
He truly
was
is,
getting different nicknames.
He's truly a gift to us all.
Wow. Sounds
He's a great
all right. Sounded very genuine there. Zion up against Impact in the top lane. On the desk prior, we were talking about some of the best top laners in the league. You and him both being up there. How, how is it playing against him? And in this game specifically, Gnar versus Hecarim, we saw a lot of influence from both of you across the map with teleports and in these team fights. How do you feel you stacked up in that 1v1?
I feel that game actually had a lot more impact than him. And okay, I honestly didn't mean to say that pun. Like, please. I honestly did not think about that at all. But yeah, he got really greedy for golems and stuff a lot of times, and that's why I got a solo kill on him. He was just making mistakes, and he was pushing with no vision, and I was honestly surprised at the amount of mistakes he was making because I don't really think I played spectacularly, but he just overextended a lot, and we took advantage of that as a team and individually. So I just had a lot more pressure and game impact than he did that game, and we were able to win. So.
All right, and we saw the Sedge pick locked in here. Double, if this is to you. In the past, Smithy has gotten a lot of flack for his Sedge play, but simply picking the champion demonstrates the fact that the team has confidence in his ability to play that champion. So the question here is, how does a pro team discuss and develop the trust and basically the list of champions that this is something we are entirely comfortable with everyone playing, so that when you get to the stage here and you say Sedge is the right pick, you're not questioning the one subpar game that you're remembering from the past?
Yeah, well, I know Smithy got a lot of flack for his playoff game as Sedge, and I feel like in the order list of things we consider when we pick champions, dank memes is at the very bottom. We just consider his performance in scrims and his overall performance as a player. We trust him, and I know Smithy's a great player, and everyone misses Sedge ultis. It's just people are going to really target him about it because he messed up in one game really badly. Whatever, everyone messes up. Faker gets solo killed by Febivin. That's not a sweet meme everyone runs around with.
Absolutely. I mean, no, and that is the point, right? Is the other side of the story here, in that there was one missed ult. The rest in this game were actually pretty spectacular. He had a phenomenal ult there at the very end of the game to lock up those last 2 kills, secure the push down the top lane. Finally, kind of removing ourselves from this game and looking back down on CLG as an organization, spoke to Afromoo and Pobelter a little bit yesterday about the restructuring and bringing in the 2 mid laners. I mean, today, Pobelter 9, 1, and 10 on Azir, with only the 1 death to kind of the cheeky Evelyn coming out of nowhere kill on his back. Seems to be performing very well so far. So just from both of you, want to hear how you feel the integration process is coming along and how you feel the team is evolving through the split so far.
I think it's going pretty well. I think individually in terms of mechanics and stuff, we have all the lanes that can be really strong and can go up against the top of NA, so that's really good. And we also have what we had before with the shot calling. Link was a big part of that, but Afro has been stepping up. Everyone's been stepping up on the team to kind of fill that void, and it's been meshing along really nicely. And with the structure we have and the coaching staff, it's just really easy to keep improving. And as long as we stay on that track of improvement, we'll be great for playoffs, but fingers crossed,
Yeah, definitely. I just agree. The track we're on, I think last split we got into the kind of hole. It's oh, we're pretty good. Now what? It's really hard to decide what to do next. But now I think we know we're not the best or anything right now, but I think we're pretty good. And we definitely have the people on the team and the right roster and definitely the right coaching to figure out what to do, what's next.
It sounds like you have the rapport with the coaching staff at this point where,
we sleep in the same bed. It's great.
I'm going to leave it there then. I'm going to leave it there with congratulations on the victory for you guys today. A great first week to start off the split. Best of luck this coming week in practice and leading into week 2. Now there's still plenty of league action coming your way. Next up, we've got Team Solo Mid looking to get a win on the boards as they take on enemy esports. So stay with us.
What's a good song, guys?
About a week ago.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Oh wait, no, yeah, we can do that one. Start from the bottom, now we're here. I'll do the beat.
Rush comes up here as well. Great pressure from Adrian and the team. Zion Spartan throws everybody and placks them up against the wall as a trophy. The dark passage to the light. What a savior. Oh, knocked all the way back. Impact not getting the situation he wanted.
I'm looking at L-Star.
Oh. Watch it.
There's Eve. Back
up. Only people
yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Am I going L-Star right now?
Yeah.
L-Star.
Come back.
Stay together.
On the tanks. Keep kiting back.
Eve. I'll get Eve.
I'll get him.
Can we go Baron? Can we go Baron? An ult from Pole Belter kept everybody out of the pit. Big Smithy follows through. He hits the Glacial Prison. Counter Logic Gaming walk away from week 1 2-0.